Hey there, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the controversial topic of the Fyre Festival and things that you can take away as an event planner of what to do and what not to do. So if this is of interest to you, this is the video for you to be looking at. So before we get into it, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is April Knight-Copeland. I'm the president of Fun Events by April, LLC. We are located in New York City, and I have 10 years of event planning experience. I planned events for major companies as well as weddings, fashion events, corporate events up front. So I'm very well versed in the space of event planning. We're just now going to dive into the Fyre Festival debacle. The last thing that I want to touch on is your team. You have to have a great team around you when you are planning these type of events, because they can make or break how you're able to execute things. Part of Billy's problem was that he had a team of people who didn't want to bring him any issue because he had all this money. And they didn't want to jeopardize their money because he had all the money. But let me say this. For the initial people who were part of the documentary, like the engineer who was telling him, like, you can't fit all these people on this island. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. He fired them. He fired the initial, like, marketing company. He fired them. At the end of the day, if you are working on a team and you find that the person who is the executive decision-making holder is not really with it, you can't really get through to them, this is what you do. Okay, because no one really tried to do this in a capacity that I feel like would have made the sting of the event less painful. I think the first thing is to isolate Billy from everyone. Really have a conversation with Billy to the extent that he would listen. There's only a few people in this entire process that Billy even paid attention to. And those few people really never sat down and told Billy, look, bruh, this is not it. It's not popping. It's not working. What they told Billy was, Billy would say, well, make it work, make it work. No one told him this is not going to work. So sometimes you have to tell them this is not going to work. This is what we can do. This is what we can't do. This is what we can control. This is what we can't control. Here are the solutions, and here are the non-solutions, which are things that we just can't get around. I think if they had had those conversations a lot earlier in the process, especially after the first tumbleweed started to come after they got kicked off of the first island and went to the second island, that would have been great. I think also too, someone should have talked to Ja Rule, because I feel like Billy respected Ja Rule, and Ja Rule had a lot of influence over Billy, and he could have been able to like nudge him a little bit, like, bruh, you know, how about we do this? I think Ja Rule holds just as equal responsibility to this as Billy, because the two of them were the face of this whole debacle, and they owe people something, okay? I don't care what nobody says. Ja Rule, by him being the famous person and attaching himself to it and going so hard for it, he holds a social responsibility, especially to his fans, about what happened, what didn't happen, and the consumer. You know, there's so many levels of responsibility. He needs to be getting his hand slapped or something, but that's just me. And finally, on another note, the vendors that were a part of the Fyre Festival, that to this day, some of them still haven't gotten paid. I know that the woman who was in charge of doing like the main catering for the event, she eventually got her money back, so I'm so grateful for that. But some other people who were involved in spending all their money, like, they don't have their coins. The investors are out money. Somebody needs to pay them. And that's where the integrity comes in. If you know you don't have the money and you're really managing the money, your vendors need to be taken care of, because at the end of the day, you don't want to ruin those relationships. And relationships, especially in certain industries, are so hard to keep. They're so hard to maintain. And I just feel like Billy just didn't give a crap about anyone but himself. And that's why he's in jail. That's why his ass is in jail right now. Because when you do things to serve yourself and you don't do things to serve others, you find yourself in jail serving others, okay? And that's just my thoughts from an event planner perspective. I think, you know, Mr. King, who came on towards the tail end, he did the best he could, but he was someone that Billy really respected. And I feel like if he went harder on getting Billy to make decisions, Billy would have listened to him for sure. I think Billy would have listened to him. I think Billy would have listened to Ja Rule. And I think that's it. And the investor lady. Them three he would have listened to. Everybody else was dispensable. So I think, you know, from that perspective, that was the Fyre Festival. Now, obviously, there's more personal feelings and opinions that I have on it, but I think there are a lot of lessons from like event marketing, event planning, production standpoint that we can take from it. And so those are my interpretations of it. What did you think about the Fyre Festival? What are some other things that you saw that from an event planning perspective that could have been better? Leave them down below. Let's have a real discussion about this whole Fyre fiasco, because it really was a hot mess. So I appreciate you for watching this video. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, share, like, and comment below your thoughts. I also have a blog post about this, as I mentioned, on my blog, which is aprileventdiaries.com. You can find me. I have a podcast, which is called All Things Event Planning with April Podcast. It is on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, and my website, Private Events by April. I think those are all the platforms. I'll list them all below just in case I missed one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I upload videos weekly, and see you next time. Bye.